Hello and welcome to First Player Marker. I'm Neil. To my left is Joel. Joel's 11.
Hello.
To my right is Ruth. Ruth is 9.
Banana.
And we have an extra special guest for this episode. I'd like to introduce the excellent game designer, Mr. Andy Hopwood.
Hello, banana.
And we're going to be asking Andy a few questions. We're also going to be looking at his upcoming brand new game, which is called Daring Dustbunnies, and will be appearing on Kickstarter anytime soon.
Mid-June, I think it's going to be mid-June. Mid-June the 20th is what we are aiming at.
Brilliant. So, a few questions first. So,
Yes.
my first question to you, Andy, is where might people know you from?
Okay, so back in 2008, 2009, I invented a game called Mindleaf, and I went to my first UK Games Expo, which everybody should go to at least once because it's brilliant. And
All times.
well, as many times as
And
you
it's
can.
this weekend.
It's this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
And
Dating the video
so
there.
I made a game called Niche, and I made a game called Mindleaf, which is this one, which I'm going to give to you guys as little gifts. There you go, presents.
Oh, thank you.
Presents.
Thank
There you
you.
go. I can teach
Might
you
have to
later.
learn how to play this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then do a video about it.
So,
We'll have a playthrough.
We're doing a playthrough. Daring Dustbunnies.
Mindleaf won an award at that expo,
Yeah.
which was amazing because I didn't expect anything to happen at that stage. And so people know me from that, and people know me from a game called Dodeca as well, although that's published by Coiled Spring. But
Which
I'm a
means
designer.
that Asmodee bought out Coiled Spring last year, didn't they?
Yes.
So that means you're officially an Asmodee designer.
Yeah, I think that's you always stress
Officially?
that. Yeah, fair enough.
So that's our own personal copy.
Asmodee have never paid me any
And
money.
my first question to you is, where'd you steal our sticks?
Where'd you steal?
I think he means, why did you steal our shtick?
Our shtick.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Me and
Halo
Ruth's.
banana.
Oh.
Well, you inspired me.
It's Halo, not Halo.
Well, do you know
Halo's a
what?
video game.
Banana.
Yeah. Well, that's.
And
Well,
one
Ruth's
question.
turn.
I couldn't think of a
One
better
question.
beginning.
Have another go at.
Have another go. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Okay, Daddy, your
It's
second
literally a
question.
unique talent.
Okay, yeah. So back to the whole world of board gaming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have been informed by a mutual friend
This was my
that
question.
Is this hang on? Is this going to be a surprise question out of the blue?
that
You don't like cooperatives, do you?
yeah, that you're not a fan of
If
cooperative
you were
games.
forced to,
Mm,
and your life depended on it, which cooperative game would you play?
what a good question. That is actually a good question.
Daddy gave me
Castle
the idea.
Panic?
I do. Do you know what? I
It's
like
there.
Castle Panic. I have played Castle Panic. I like the lighter versions. My issue with cooperative games is that they
They're
fall.
boring.
They fall into the trap of
Arguing.
one person being very good at the game and telling everybody else what to do. There's always that danger. Now,
So in terms of games you haven't personally designed, what would be your go-to game?
okay, if I could choose 2 games to take on Desert Island.
Okay,
Why?
why not? Well,
Why not?
if it's a big one, maybe you could float there.
That weren't
Okay.
yours.
So I would say for me, Twilight Struggle,
Okay.
which it won't surprise a lot of people because a lot of people like it. It's one of the very few games where I have felt genuine anxiety whilst playing the game because it was
Okay.
like you're in there. And it's a Cold War game. It's a long game. It's about 4 or 5 hours long.
I mean, it's 2-player.
2-player, and you are basically constantly striving to overcome a hand of terrible cards, and at the first part of the game you have to deal with, you've got to keep an eye on Europe, and you've got to keep an eye on the Middle East, and you've got to keep an eye on Asia. Then the other continents come into play, and then towards the sort of like latter half of the game, so it's halfway through the game, suddenly you realise that all the cards have been shuffled back in, and then you've got to keep an eye on the whole world. And there's a moment there where you just think, I don't think I can do this. This is too big a task. I don't know where the next problem is going to come from. Love that. And the other one is Lemon Jousting,
Oh, never heard of that.
which is a game which was a big shout out to a lady called Minket, who I understand invented Lemon Jousting. So if you take 2 wooden spoons each.
This isn't a tabletop game, is it?
Not at all.
Okay.
But to be fair,
Go on, Lemon
To
Jousting.
be fair, we've digressed to what
That's
funny
true. That's
funny
true.
you can do. With
I was
your
I was
house.
expecting something that would be in a box. but go on.
No. Well, you could put it in a box. It's 4 wooden spoons and 2 lemons. Stick it in a box if you like.
Real
So-
lemons.
Real lemons, but don't worry, no lemons are harmed in the no. But
No, they probably are.
They really are.
That's why I said just stick it.
So you've got 2 spoons, 2 wooden spoons, right, and a lemon each. You put your lemon on one of your spoons, like egg and spoon race, and then the other one, I'm trying to knock your
Jam.
lemon off, and you're trying to knock my lemon off. Last lemon to hit the floor wins. So it becomes this kind of balletic, because you've got to balance, so you can't just go at it, because you'll drop your lemon.
I just grabbed that hand.
Okay,
So-
lemon
Glue it down.
jousting.
Lemon jousting, it's
Coming to a tournament play near you. I can understand why you'd
Brush
have that on
my
a desert
teeth,
island.
curl
'Cause-
my hair.
no
brush my
scurvy.
teeth, curl my-
Okay, so we're going to move on now to talk about your new master creation.
and play it.
master.
Now
Wow.
that we've learned something, we can refer to you as an award-winning game designer.
Yeah, well, I have to correct you there. I'm a multi-award-winning guy.
Oh. you won the Dodeca as well, didn't you? Or something?
No, I didn't win for that one for Mindleaf and Zoom Zoom Kaboom.
Ooh.
Zoom, zoom.
I've heard a lot about Zoom Zoom.
Well, Zoom Zoom
People
Kaboom.
wanting
Should we
copies.
set it up?
I've been working
And
hard on
teach
Zoom
it to
Zoom
us?
Kaboom.
Talk us through
Yes.
Daring Dustbunnies.
Okay, so Daring Dustbunnies, they're little creatures that live under the sofa. You're obviously aware of those little creatures that live under your sofa,
Mhm.
right?
Cats.
They're not real.
You say they're not real.
They live in our shark vacuum cleaner.
So use it to
Fluff
So you've got these little characters here. So we've got
use this to
there's
explain
two-
it to us.
there's these 2 here are 2 little prototypes. They are on bits of paper at the moment, but they will be on proper cards eventually. So ignore those. But they're going to be on cards like this. Cotton reel. There's a needle. They're actually brother and sister, I think. Can't remember in the game. So and these little dust bunnies, they live under the sofa, and they to entertain themselves, they watch our televisions, and they collect bits and pieces that drop down the back of the sofa,
Like other ones,
like paper clips and
like their friends.
old matches. No.
What about hairs?
I haven't got any hairs in
Or
there.
DS
But
pens.
bits of wire, stuff like that. Those
DS pens.
What about my beads?
DS
Oh, your beads would be. A
Yeah,
good one.
I lost one down the back of the sofa this morning
I haven't put
and
DS
found
pen
it
in.
again.
I haven't put a DS pen in here, so maybe I need to do that.
Maybe we could have one with a Sharpie for the next expansion because he dropped pens down the back.
Sharpies are quite big. I mean, if you go
And-
take a
and
look at
remote- The
that
remote
gives you an
controls.
idea.
That's
So
true.
little Bud, is carrying a cotton bud. That's how big they are. So a Sharpie might be. I mean, he's the strongest one, which is why he can lift a cotton
I mean,
bud.
that's going to become a very rare weapon in the future when they ban cotton buds, isn't it?
Yeah, you just end up with a cotton and no bud. I don't know. Yeah. So
Gladiators.
they also they have this competition where they race balls of fluff. They animate balls of fluff magically, and then they race them across the carpet towards the vacuum cleaner. Now the crux of the game is that somebody has to go into the vacuum cleaner for the round to end, but the fluff ball that's nearest the vacuum cleaner when that happens is the winner. So you want to be close to the vacuum cleaner, but just not too close to the vacuum cleaner. So essentially, you're trying to. It's a push your luck game. I love push your luck games, and it's a hand management game as well because you're not. You've got a secret. One of these fluff balls is your colour, but you don't tell anybody what that is. You see, your colour is secret, and you're moving all the different fluff balls at various different stages of the game, trying not to give away which one you are. So there's a bit of hidden identity.
So they race themselves.
They sort of, yeah. You're basically betting. Your fate is connected to one of those fluff balls. And if the fluff ball goes into the vacuum cleaner,
You're dead.
You're dead.
well, that fluff ball is dead, but you aren't. So your race is over for that round. But if it goes in the tube, you can get out of the tube. But if it goes in the bag, then not only do you miss out. Well, fluff balls never die.
They
You know?
kind of do when they get burnt.
No fluff balls are burnt in the process of this game. I look after my fluff balls.
She has a slightly macabre sense of humour sometimes.
So so into the vacuum cleaner they go, and first there's 3 rounds, and there's gold, silver, and bronze for first, second, and third each. Right. So you've got these fluff balls that we're talking about, and they're it's over 3 rounds, so you'll get gold, silver, and bronze. And if you end up in the tube, you can get out the tube. But if you go in the bag, so at the moment you've got tube and bag, 2 different spaces. You go in the tube, you can get out. If you end up in the bag, then you lose all the medals you collected so far. So if you've won the first 2 rounds, gold and gold, the other players, all they care about is finding out what colour you are and putting you in the bag, so you lose both gold. And it's a wonderful moment at the start in that scenario where the person who's in the lead, who should be sitting pretty thinking I'm going to be fine, is the most paranoid person on the table. And everybody else is quite devil may care and thinking, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to us if we don't get them in the bag. Yeah. So it's but
your fluff ball is a hidden role mechanic.
Yes, yeah. But you can be discovered. It can be revealed.
Why does
during the game.
it say X buttons?
This probably isn't going to be the final version of the artwork, although the vacuum cleaner probably is. But the buttons are the medals. So the buttons that fall down the back of the sofa, there's a gold, silver, and bronze buttons.
I get it. Okay, got it.
So those are the medals they give out.
So I can confirm that I have played through Daring Dustbunnies twice. Last year at the UK Games Expo, and a couple of months back. Both my wife and I played through it at a game cafe.
Ooh la la.
And it is an excellent game cafe.
I was about to say it was an excellent game.
Also an excellent game.
But it is an excellent game cafe that our friend runs.
So this will be me and Ruth playing this game. It will be we will only be playing 1 round, however, because obviously this is a very, very, very long video already. So
351 seconds.
But good. I think you'll agree.
So we will be playing a 2-player game. I am Bernard the Beard. I can choose to play any value 4 movement card as a value 1 movement card instead, which I thought could be very,
that
very...
means nothing at the moment, but I'll explain.
Yes, I know. But that could be very, very, very useful to me. I think.
And what's your character?
I'm mystical Misha?
Yeah,
Misha.
I say Misha, you say Misha. Let's call the whole thing off.
You can, once a turn, if a talisman is showing on the top of the discard pile, you may make a guess at a player's colour.
I'll explain that in a minute.
So,
would you like me to explain how to play the game?
Yes, please.
Let's rock and roll. Okay, so in this game there are these fluff balls. These little pieces represent the fluff balls that are going to make their way across the carpet towards the vacuum.
Dun dun dun.
So every time I say vacuum,
Dun dun dun.
quite like that. So and the way we move them is by using these movement cards, which I will explain in a moment. As you move across there, you'll see that there's different words on each of the spaces. There's 5 spaces, and then you hit the tube, and then you hit the bag. So, play means play an extra card from your hand. Take means take a card from somebody else. Flip means flip the top card of the deck over and do what it says. And give is give a card from your hand to somebody else. Okay? In this game, you're going to get 4 cards in your hand. So, the cards will be one of 3 types. There'll be a dog or a cat. Hang on just a minute. I need to shuffle the cards. There'll be a dog or a cat. There'll be 1, 2, 3 or 4 in one of these colours. And they simply move that colour that far. Or there'll be a thing called a talisman of truth. There's 2 talismans of truth in the game. If you ever play a talisman of truth from your hand, you will have to reveal what colour you are, because you're going to have a secret identity assigned to you in a minute. And if you ever play one of those, you have to turn it over and tell the other players what colour you are, which makes life a lot harder. If you ever played both of these cards, though, you can then have a guess at what colour the other player is. So, 1 is bad, 2 is good for those. So you're going to get 4 of these into your hand at the start.
I want 5.
Just before we do that, I'm going to...
I want 5.
Okay. Get used to disappointment. So that's life. So you're going to have one of these 6 colours assigned to you in a second. Keep it secret. Do not let the other player know.
Yeah,
what
will it
colour
be?
is.
I can see the bottom one.
Would it depend on what?
Yeah, it's one of those. But all of these are in the game.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's your one.
Are we allowed to look?
Yes, and that's your one.
I don't want my fate.
Keep it secret.
Are we allowed to tell the things?
No,
I will just. No, we will take it in turns to show our card while the other closes their eyes.
So you show it to the camera.
Close it. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Ruth, you do
Yes,
the same
Ruth.
now. You've got that. Yeah, it's wobbled around, but we have got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lovely. So keep those secret. They can be revealed, as we said, by you picking the talisman, or revealing the talisman, and or having 2 play on you. Mystical Misha's special power is, remember that talisman I spoke about just now? This talisman in here. If that's ever on the discard pile in your turn, you may have a free guess at what colour.
So if my colour is on top of the pile.
Not your colour, no.
No,
The talisman, this one, that one. If that card is on the top of the discard pile in your turn, you may make 1 guess as to what colour your opponent is. So we're going to give you 4 cards each. There's 4 cards. I'm going to give you 4 cards.
Don't you look at it.
Right, so you also get a wire of shocking, which is one of the
what
charms.
does I forgot to ask earlier? What does the dog and the cat do?
Right, sorry, the dog and the cat. So if anybody in the dog's room, if you play the dog, can move backwards up to 4 spaces, and anybody in the cat's room when you play the cat's one can move forward up to 4 spaces.
Okay.
I'll now tell you. Now you have a little look at your cards. I'll tell you now how the round
Just one
ends.
question. Do you have to play?
You must play 1 card.
What if you don't want to play it?
Get used to disappointment. Life can be tough.
So
you
So
have
each
to
have
play
a
1
wire
card.
of shocking.
If you've got a talisman in your hand now, the only way to get rid of it on this board is by landing on give and giving it to your opponent, which is going to make life very interesting. So if you've got that talisman, you're going to have to try and land on give, get shot of it. Because what happens is when you move these forwards, so let's say I'm going to move blue forwards.
Does play let you play another card?
It makes you play another card whether you want to or
Yeah,
not.
I know.
Do
What does take do?
Take a card from your opponent.
Okay.
Flip means flip the top card of the deck. Give means give a card to an opponent. Now, if you land on a space and there's no other fluff balls there, you do what it says. But if there is a fluff ball there, when you land on there, instead of doing what it says, you take static. And the amount of static you get, which is this stuff, the amount of static you get is equal to the number of fluff balls on the space when you land on it. So if black moves there, you get 1 static.
What does static do?
Static powers the charms, and the charms let you cheat. When you play your cards from your hand, so let's say you play 1 card, you don't draw back up to 4. You have to play all of those cards in your hand and have no cards in your hand before you're allowed to draw back up to 4. And when you do, that's when you get a new charm.
Ooh.
Okay. So, and if you take static, you take it from your opponent in this.
Just a question. Can you move backwards?
You can only move backwards if you have a special charm that lets you. The wire will let you do it. The wire is most of these charms.
Yay! I can.
Most of these charms will have a number on them, so that's the amount of static you need to make it work. So you have to use when you use the wire, you use all of. So if you've got 1 or 6 static or 5 or whatever, you use all of it, and you move one of the fluff balls backwards that far.
Can you move you?
Of course you can, yeah. But don't say I'm moving me.
Oh, how
because
do
that'll
you?
give away which one you are.
What if you've got like the
Talisman.
Yeah. And they know who you are, then you could just say I'm moving myself.
Yeah, if you have to play the talisman, I would advise trying not to.
Yeah, but how are you not going to if you've got it in your hand?
You can give it to your opponent if you land on
Yeah,
it.
but you're not going to get there.
You don't know yet. See how it plays out,
So
Ruth.
now the person who's going to go first, we're ready to start playing. The person who goes first is the last person to have done the vacuum cleaning. This would tell us a lot. Who did the
That
vacuum
would
cleaning?
have been Joel. He vacuums the stairs.
And also, I vacuumed the kitchen floor
Joel's
the
going
other
first.
day.
So
Get me the vacuum, Dad.
the very last thing I need to tell you, the round ends. So let's say we're part way through a game. Let's say these fluff balls will move forwards, and they're like this. When you move onto the tube, you have to stop. So even if yellow played a 4, you go 1, 2, and stop at the tube. The tube is a very long process.
So how do you get into the bag?
The next time yellow moves forward in any way, shape or form, it goes into the bag. You can get out of the tube. This is important. You can get out of the tube.
Can you move the dog to that room?
No.
Aww.
So you can move. You can get out of the tube when playing your wire. But you cannot get out of the bag.
So you do not want to go in the vacuum cleaner.
Go in the bag. That's it. That's the end of your. The best you can hope for is by dragging the other player in with you. Yeah.
How?
So, because once somebody's in either the tube or the bag, i.e. once somebody's on the vacuum card, the round can end, but it will only end, and this is important, when everybody else is on a unique space. So right now, these two share a space and these two share a space. The round won't end. So let's say green moves forwards to there, or even to there. The round won't end. Let's say somebody manages to move brown back 1 space. Now the round would end because somebody's in the vacuum cleaner and everybody else is on a unique space.
We didn't do the dun dun dun.
Dun,
Vacuum cleaner.
Dun.
So let's say it ended like this. Pink would get gold, brown would get silver, and black would get bronze.
Why? I don't get that.
Nearest to the vacuum cleaner. Now these two are in.
Without being in.
Once you're in there, you get no medals. So gold for the nearest, silver for the next nearest, and bronze for the furthest away.
My
If it
attempt
was
is
like
probably
this,
just to get in the bag.
if it was like this, gold and silver. Yeah?
No bronze.
No bronze. And it's important to bear in mind, because they watch the Olympics and they use the Olympic medal table, 1 gold is better than all the silver in the world.
So just to quickly explain, we changed the medal awards to fabricate 2 rounds. Mystical Misha now has bronze. Bernard the beard now has silver. And if either of them gets gold, they will win.
If Mr. Misha gets silver, she'll win, unless
He gets
Bernard the beard gets
another gold
gold.
or bronze. If there's a tie, still a tie at the end with all the medals, then it's the person with the most charms that wins. If there's still a tie, it's the person with the most static. If there's still a tie,
I'm going to be
it's
evil.
the person with the most number of noses.
So who's playing first?
I've got that.
Mister.
Yep, Bernard the beard.
I will.
So play 1 card and we'll see what happens.
Play blue.
Blue. So blue moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And if it says play, you play another card. Blue moves 4.
That's you.
Is in the tube.
That's you.
Well, that's a really bad place to be.
That's him.
Okay. Ruth?
What are you
I'm
doing?
gonna have to play at some point.
Talisman.
Oh no, don't play it now.
And it's on my turn.
Use your other cards first.
Yeah, it has to be at the...
Use your other cards because you never know if you land on give.
4.
4. Now flip. So you flip this card and you do what it says. It's a yellow 3.
1, 2, 3.
Play another
You have
card.
to play another card.
I don't want to.
Just go for it.
You've got yellow 2 or brown 1.
Pink goes forward 3.
Right,
Oh,
so
that
that
was-
means you get 1 static, which you take.
And she has
From
to
here.
play... Oh, no.
Thank you.
She steals it from me.
Yeah.
There's only 6 static in the game.
What the flippy?
Thank you.
What the flip? So it's your go.
My turn.
How long are we gonna wait?
Come on, Joel. You only got 2 cards.
I've got 2 cards. Right now I just want to stare at them like I'm evil.
I'm using the dog's bark.
Okay. So you can move the brown piece backwards.
Okay, he's
up to
brown.
4 spaces.
1, 2, 3.
Play another card.
Brown.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
You flip that card. Pink moves 1. You get 1 static, which you take from the other player.
I'll have my
Nice.
Now, because you've just emptied your hand of cards, you get 4 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I get a new.
And you get a new charm, which is the Plectrum of Panic. If you have exactly 3 cards in your hand, you may discard them.
Nice.
Right, I'm playing brown.
Moves 1 and give a card to an opponent. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And a new charm. You got the Spinner of Switching. Use an opponent's power for the remainder of this turn. So if you spend 1 static, you will be able to turn 4s into 1s.
I've got the flipping worst move ever.
Joel, why has Joel got 5 cards?
Because he was just given.
Oh, because he was given one.
By the way, this
evil
doesn't count.
one.
This doesn't count as a unique space. So both of these have got to get into the game before the game can end.
Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad, 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 bad,
Can I
bad,
have
bad,
that as a
I
test-
need
can I
a
put that as a
card.
testimonial on the back of the box?
Bad, 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 bad. Baby, bad, bad. Baby,
Vacuum.
bad. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm moving
Bad, bad,
black
bad, bad.
for 2. No.
I can
Oh,
see your
gosh.
cards. Keep them to
Yeah, I'll
yourself.
play. Move black forward 3.
1, 2, 3. Take a static.
Thank you.
Right.
How many cards you got? You got 4. Okay. You will be able to throw them away. So pink is now in the tube.
I'm trying to get
And
everybody in the
risking-
tube.
Don't forget, you've always got your wire. If you are pink or blue, you can use your
my
wire.
turn, isn't it?
You can use your charms as free actions at any stage during your turn.
Okay. Your turn.
I'm moving black forward 2.
He's black.
1, 2.
Take 1 static.
He's black.
Now,
And I have exactly 3 cards in my hand, so I'm using my
so
plectrum.
you lose your Plectrum of Panic, and that goes over there.
Where do these go?
You spend
me?
those 3, and they go on the static pile there on the switchboard,
So should I discard them?
fuse board, and
Yep.
then you throw those 3 away.
No, my perfect plan.
So I take 4 new cards.
Yep.
And get a new
That's it,
charm.
and get a new charm. There you go. And now you've got the Suite of Bribery. You take a look at the top unused fate card and then shuffle the unused fate cards. So, and that would cost you 2 static because it's 1 per person in the game. But you would get to see that one, so you would get to see what your opponent isn't.
Yeah.
But look at your special power. Brilliant demonstration here. Thank you very much.
I'm guessing
So the
you
Talisman of Truth is on the top
are
of this.
black.
No.
Okay.
He's black.
If you were, obviously you would have to say it.
And declare.
Right.
So now it's your go.
What the flip?
Mystical Misha's go.
And you've got. I can see your hand.
Well, it doesn't matter too much at the moment.
Okay.
Go, Ruth.
Go.
Pink 4.
Pink is in the bag.
I'm dead.
But let's pretend you didn't say
I knew
that.
I should have used that. I knew I should have. I killed you.
Let's pretend that never happened because you wouldn't admit it at this stage because the game hasn't ended.
Yes,
And
I
you still have
know.
a chance of putting your sister in the bag as well.
You took a risk in staying in the tube, Joel.
Mm.
I was surprised you did that because I knew what you
Oh
were.
yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Okay, your turn. I think he's in the bag.
Blue's in the bag.
Why are
Okay.
you blue?
Keep your secret, keep your secret.
Yellow one. Flip.
Flip the card.
Green one.
Play an extra card from your hand. Brown goes into the tube.
Oh!
Game end.
Is the end of the round.
I hate you!
Now you don't
Wait.
you didn't want the
Wait.
if you didn't want the game to end. Let's say you were brown, yeah, and you didn't want the game to end. You could play your Wire of Shocking still to move brown back out if you wanted to. It all depends what colour you are. If you're black, then that's fine.
Right. Are you happy that the game's finished, Ruth?
No.
How?
You're going to use your Wire of Shocking to move brown to there, so the round has not yet ended.
And so give.
Because Ruth
All
is
in your-
green.
She can't.
Ruth is
she
green.
Takes a static though, doesn't she?
Yes, she gets 1 static from there. And a new charm. Oh, you can have a wire actually. When you spend your wire, the wires are special, so they always go on their own discard pile, and you can always take a wire back, which I always advise people do. It's your go. Yes, Doom is facing you in the near future, but
Actually, hasn't he just lost the silver as well because he's in the bag?
oh, he's in the bag. He's going to lose all his medals. Yeah.
We could
1,
have
2,
won
3, 4.
2 static. Take 2 static from here. There you go.
Sorry, but the game's ended.
Black moves not yet.
Not yet.
Black's
Why?
in the
There's
tube.
2 on the gift space.
2 of these are here.
It's a little bit more work to do. Joel.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Moving the cat into here.
Okay.
The dog moves into here, doesn't he?
No, dog stays there.
Ooh. Cats and dogs can't live together.
Yes, they can.
Pandemonium.
People can live together of all different cultures and types.
I'm
Yes,
pink.
of course we can.
Yellow.
Yellow's going into the tube. Oh man, alive. Right, you'll go. You can use your charms before you play your card, if that makes any difference to you whatsoever.
I'm going to
By the
use
way,
the sweet of
if you
bribery.
play that card, you'll get static. Just saying.
I don't care.
Okay, so using the suit of bribery, which has cost you 2 static, 2 players in the game. You get to look at that.
That was not useful.
Well, I don't know. Right.
Wait. Don't I get a new charm?
Not till you've emptied your hand.
Can you also use his wire of shocking now as well?
Oh yeah, you can use your wire of shocking to move one of those 2 back out if you wanted to.
I wouldn't.
If something's on the start, is it not?
No, well, you can't. You can't go back to the start. You can only go back to the first space.
Because I think it's green. And I'm playing this to get 2. Playing this to get 2 static.
Okay. You
And
know because we know you're in the bag. You know you lost your medal. So your aim is to get her into the bag, if you can.
You don't even know what I am. And I'm not explaining.
Then I'm not using my wire of shocking.
Okay.
I'm just playing the blue.
Okay. So yeah.
I get a new charm.
Yep, and 4 new cards. 1, 2, 3, and then we shuffle the cards up for the 4. It's your go.
I'm playing Dog Spark.
To move who forward?
One of those 2 backwards. That's your 4th card. And flip this card. Cat's Meow to move one of those 2 forwards. Are you? Yeah, you're not brown. You're not brown, are you? Are you green? You've just put you in yourself in a tube. Okay, that's cool.
Is that the end of your turn? Is that the end of the game then, Ruth?
That is the end of the game. Yep.
So
Green
reveal
was
your...
a sole survivor and gets gold. Now you reveal your cards.
Knew she was green! I had 3 cards! You
So-
see I'm flipping on there!
So the silver unfortunately goes in the bag, so that goes in there. So you lost your silver medal.
I hate this game.
But I like the gracious and noble way you've accepted defeat.
I like this game.
So, so there we go. So that is
should have won! But I lost!
So, you all right there, Joel? Right, your genuine thoughts in front of the designer.
It was good.
Did you enjoy it, Joel?
It was okay.
It was okay. Okay.
My sword.
I think you should make some more usable powers.
Those
okay.
usable powers.
No, they're like more usable powers.
The idea of the powers for the characters are that they are not usable all the time necessarily, and you've got to try and balance it.
Yes.
So the charms are the powerful things.
I think you should add maybe a different type of movement card to add a bit of difference to the game, like a moving backwards card.
Well, some of the characters can move, and don't forget you've got the wire of shocking, which you can. So basically, you can always take one of those whenever you've emptied your hand. So every single 4 cards, you've got a card that will let you move backwards, as long as you've got some static. But But if you have people moving back too much, then the game goes on far too long, and you can have people going backwards and forwards, left, right, and centre. And it's like, so I like it people to be impelled towards the vacuum cleaner, inexorably being sucked up the tube, like you were.
Vacuum cleaner. Dun dun dun.
What did you
I
think,
liked
Ruth?
it apart from
My
losing.
score is 11 out of 10.
That's only because you won, you
Good.
smug baby.
That's one louder.
If you, oh yes, it is.
In fact,
My game's got to 11.
How long were you? Has the game actually been in development?
So it started off 2 years ago as moths flying towards a candle.
Okay.
But then I realised that involved moths being burnt rather than fluff being sucked up a vacuum cleaner, and that felt a little bit more
Me.
violent,
Yeah.
gory.
Me.
Also, I
Bloody.
came across quite a substantial number of people who were really freaked out by moths.
Yeah. So I know a few people
So,
with.
I'm sure there's
Dustbunnies
there's
is
probably
dead.
some people who hate
Living
fluff,
pieces,
but not as many as hate moths.
living dust.
Living
That's
moths.
probably more freaky than moths.
Yeah,
They'll probably
it's
have
probably
giant
an
teeth.
American program coming out called The Walking Dust, which I would imagine.
Or
If
indeed,
that actually happens now,
Or
I want
indeed-
some kind of.
or indeed the sleep dust monsters from the Doctor Who episode.
Oh, gosh.
Never even seen it.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Right. Thank you very much for
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
teaching my reprobate children,
They were brilliant.
who asked you perhaps more questions when you were teaching it than anyone else has
Fine.
ever asked.
That's fine. I've had worse. Much worse.
Joel.
Adults are far harder to teach a game to than children.
Joel,
Joel,
stop it.
stop it.
It's been beaten
So-
by Bernard the Beard.
Thank you very much for watching.
Please subscribe.
Leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this.
Hit the bell.
Hello, banana.
Hit the bell.
Thanks very much.
Hit the
And
bell.
Bye bye.
see you next time.
Hit the
Bye
bell.